Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to our game dissection series where we pick a game and dissect it to understand how does it work behind the scene and talk about all the core logics that are in play. So today we are dissecting another famous game known as Among Us. So before we dissect the game, let's talk about it. So this game is developed by InnerSloth Studio and it's basically a social deduction game. And the goal is simple. Eliminate all the crewmates if you are an imposter or eliminate all the imposters if you are a crewmate. Apart from it, the game has a fun and humorous art style that is cartoonish and colorful. So before we move further, let me remind you to subscribe the channel for more amazing videos on game development. So this is how the game starts. We see a bunch of players around a table with a button. Apart from that, every connected player has their username on the top of their head. Plus you have this task completed bar with your task. If you are imposter, you have fake task, and if you are a crewmate, you have real task that you have to complete to fill this bar. Then we have this setting and map option. So as you can see, we have a basic control system where you press a key and the character moves in a particular direction, and when you move in a particular direction you play an animation for walking. Then again we have this pipe system. Let's pause it for a second. So let's say when you enter this pipe, you can exit from the linked pipe. So let's just play and see how it works. So here, so you enter that pipe. Now you have an option to get out from this pipe, or you can go back to your own pipe. So this is basically a linked system. So let's say if I have to implement this same system, what I'll do is whenever someone enters a pipe, I'll play an animation of someone entering the pipe, and then I'll just pan the camera out. Then I'll search for the pipe that is linked to this pipe. So let's say this pipe is linked with that pipe. All I have to do is just press the arrow key and I have to tween the camera from position A to position B. So this is how I will be implementing it. So let's just see what happens when he presses this button. Okay, so he tweened from that position to this position, right? Then again from that position to this position. So this is basically a camera tweening. And when someone presses this vent button, you come out of the vent. One more thing here is every area has a particular name of it. So whenever player enters a particular area, you see a name here on the bottom. So this one is a reactor area. Now let's play the game. Okay, so as you see, whenever someone found a dead body, they can call a meeting to deduce who actually killed the person, right? So let's just see what happens in the meeting. So we have this simple animation. So here you have an option to vote someone, then you have an option to chat with the other people to understand who actually could be the killer. So here basically you're just sending your message across the server, and when you send a message, everyone can read it, and based on it everyone can decide who the killer is. So basically this is a message system where you send a message and it gets synced with all the other people. Then as you can see here, when we are walking, we can see these light, right? So if you want to implement this kind of light, this is basically a point light. So point light is generally a light source which emits in all directions equally, and based on the radius it enlightens the space. The way it is working in this game is, let's say this player has a radius of X unit, and whatever come in that radius, the pixel will be illuminated. And there's one more thing to consider here. The pixel won't be illuminated just because they are in the radius. The pixel will be illuminated if they falls into a straight path from the player. Plus the illumination is also tuned a little bit. So that is why we got this smooth effect. So now we have this map system which tells us exactly where we are based on the location. Creating a map system is easy. All you just need is an image, and you map that image from your original map. And so every time when you open a map, all you just need to find out where is this player standing on the map, and based on the relation with the map, you create a small icon for the player to display its position. Let's just see this game from the point of view of a crewmate. So the functionality for the crewmate is almost similar to as of the imposter. The only difference is he has to do some task. So here you can see basically we have a red light blinking. Now if you want to implement this, it's simple. All you just need a simple red layer in front of the camera, and whenever you want to blink the red light, you enable and disable the image. So here we have these small puzzles. Now these small puzzles are again simple controls where you connect one piece to the other. Then again here we can see we have these containers with their shadow. So basically this is not the actual shadow. This is the part of the image. Now if you want to implement these type of functionality where we can have arrows to show our next objective, you can do it in a simple way. All you need to do is find the location of the objective and find the location of the player, and based on the location you put up an arrow on the map somewhere near around the player, and every time he moves in a particular direction you update that arrow. As you can see here, the arrow is moving based on the player. Now one more effect that we have is this light effect. So this is again a point light. The pixels that are closer to the point are brightened and the pixels that are far from the point are little dark. Let's just move again to the imposter part and see how the kill mechanism work. So when you come near the player, this kill button activates and it allows you to perform a kill. So this is our player. So let's play this video. Okay, so as you can see, as soon as you're near a player, you have this kill button activated, and when you press this kill button, a simple animation is played on the player and the player's icon is replaced with a different icon. So as you can see here, we have this animation that is played. Player sprite has been switched to a different sprite. There's one more thing left to discuss here, and that is the task bar. So let's say you have total 10 tasks assigned to all player and our player completes 2 tasks. So based on the relation of task completed to the total task, we get a particular percent. So in our case, if we complete 2 tasks, we have 20% of the progress done, and we can display a 20% image from this complete image. So the more tasks you complete, the more image will be displayed, which actually indicates the task. So I think that is it for this video, guys. I hope you loved it. And if you're still here, do like and subscribe the channel.